Right, what's happening, guys? So you might recognise this beautiful scenic background behind me. It's a place known as Glencoe, situated in the Highlands of Scotland. Now it's taken me about 5 times to set this camera up, so hopefully this time it works, right? Anyway, you ever drove through here and wondered how the hell did those mountains form? What makes up those mountains? Well, I want to tell you a wee story, and it's kind of similar to the stories that I've already told you. So, as we've explained before, about 450 odd million years ago, you had the Caledonian orogeny, you had the closure of the Iaptus Ocean, which caused 2 plates to collide with each other. And as those 2 continents collided with each other, you had all this partial melting of the crust, as well as all the metamorphism that goes on that I talk about in previous videos. So this partial melting of the crust caused these granitic plutons to move through the crust, similar to the situation of the Ross and Mull, right, with the Ross and Mull granite. This pluton's formed where Glencoe is situated, and it's actually been a hell of a different setting, like a hell of a lot different compared to what it is today. There was explosive volcanic eruptions. Now granite causes really explosive eruptions when the magma seeps up and hits the surface. It will just go boom. So you can imagine here there was lots of volcanic, big, massive, explosive eruptions where volcanic bombs were flying out all over the place. You had pyroclastic flows, and you also had rhyolitic magma. Rhyolite has the same composition as granite, it's just finer grained because it erupts at the surface, and granite's a hell of a lot coarser grained. So basically Glencoe represents a big massive magma chamber with ring intrusions as well, circling it on the outside. It represents a time in geological time where you had explosive volcanic eruptions going on during that mountain building stage. And here's just my dog again ruining the bloody video. Will you f***ing sit down, hen? I know, you're such a good girl. It's time for camera. Can you get a river? Do you want river? Yes, you want a river. Okay, let's go get rivers. Have you ever wondered what that mountain's made of? I'm going to tell you what it's made of. That's part of the Glencoe volcanic formation. It's made up of rhyolitic lava and layers in between of rhyolitic and andesitic tuffs and pyroclastic flows. That's what that's made of. So back 425 million years ago, just after you had the continents collide with each other and the closure of the Iaptus Ocean, you had this big massive granitic magma chamber sitting underneath us, which you can actually find exposed at certain areas in Glencoe. You there, come here! Sorry, just shout my dog. So basically, this mountain is made up of those layers of like the volcano. You there, come here, move! You there, come here, you're going in the car. Bloody move. In here, come here. In the, well, you better behave. I couldn't get parked up the hill there, so I had to do my video here instead. But we're going to talk about this landscape behind me and how it formed. Now imagine a landscape much different from this today. As we spoke about before, you had the mountain building happening where the 2 plates collided 450 odd million years ago, right? So as we discussed, the mountain building was squeezing all these rocks. You also had partial melting of the crust, which caused these beautiful granitic plutons to form, these magma chambers within the crust that fed supermassive volcanoes. And here in Glencoe, you had a volcanic setting, an absolute wonder of the world back then. You had explosive eruptions which caused all this granitic magma to move through the crust and erupt at the surface as rhyolitic lavas. Now rhyolite is an acidic kind of rock, and usually these kind of volcanoes are a lot different to basaltic kinds, where you would get at different settings such as a rifting setting where you have like basaltic lava. Here the granitic magma that intruded through the crust and erupted at the surface caused these massive big explosive eruptions which consisted of rhyolitic lavas as well as pyroclastic flows such as the ones that you've seen in Vesuvius in Italy today. So we move on to the last part of the story here at Glencoe and Ballincoolish. The sun's going to set soon, so it'll be a pretty night. Basically, over millions of years, this magma chamber kept pumping the magma up through the crust, and as it did, it emptied. So as it emptied, you had the roof of the magma chamber collapse in on itself, which caused a feature known as a caldera. In geology now, a caldera is basically a crater, and sometimes this crater can be filled with, you know, random lakes. And this was a period in time as well where the old red sandstone continent existed. So you had the closure of the Aptus Ocean, you had Laurentia meet Avalonia, that's Scotland and England meet, and then you have this other continent form which is called the Old Red Sandstone Continent, and this is where all your old red sandstones were deposited. So in amongst these layers of pyroclastic flows and rhyolitic lavas, you've got every so often an occasional sliver of old red sandstone, because there was rivers flowing down like through the caldera and lakes as well, and that made the explosions like of the volcano even more eruptive. So brilliant. Oh my god, there's a pile of rocks! Just came across a little bit of rhyolite. Now rhyolite is lava, which means it erupts at the surface. It's an extrusive igneous volcanic rock. It comes from a magma chamber that's granitic in composition. So granite is the coarse grained version of rhyolite. Rhyolite is the fine grained version of granite. Basically they have the same composition, and it's just erupted at the surface and it's cooled very quickly, which is why it's so fine grained. And sometimes you can have little vesicles as well, and gas bubbles form in the lava and some phenocrysts, etc., as you would do with your basaltic lava. So aye, that's rhyolite. I'm currently sitting in a wee pool in Glencoe, right? Oh, here, are you okay? Oh no, Mummy Pill, no! I'm currently sitting in a wee pool in Glencoe, right? And the rocks behind me are rhyolite, hey! Come here, come here, come here. Sit down. Layers of like the volcano. Yura, come here, move. Yura, come here, you're going in the car. Bloody bitch. Move. In here. Come here. In the... Well, you better behave. Wondered what the mountain here is made of. Yura. Come here. Yura! Get here now. Come here. Come here and sit down.